Hello,
Hello, is Mr. Allen there?
this is Mr. Allen.
Mr. Allen, this is Dustin Wilmus from the 5 Count. How you doing?
Hey, Dustin, how are you?
Good, man. I'm here with my co-host, Ton.
Hey there, how you doing?
Great. Very good. How are you guys?
We're good.
We are rad.
Nice.
Can I say that?
Good day for it.
Cool, man. Well, we have some questions here for you if you got time.
I do. That's what I'm here for.
We were first wondering how exactly you landed the part of Cru Jones in the movie Rad.
That happened because the director, Hal Needham, saw me on an episode of Hill Street Blues, which is an old TV series from the 80s. And it's like the first show I got cast in out here. And so he originally saw it when it first aired, and he was not even in pre-production of Rad. And I guess once he got close to casting, they reran the episode. He saw it again, called me in, and just as an actor, I was not a bike rider of any note at all at the time. And I read, and probably a month later, I got the call. So it's just one reading, one meeting with Hal and the producer Robert Levy, who went on to produce like Wedding Crashers and some big things. And that was it. They had me ride a bike around the office or sit on a bike and read a couple scenes. And a few weeks later, I was in Calgary shooting.
Wow, so you didn't actually have a lot of BMX skills at the time?
Absolutely no BMX experience. I'm not even allowed to ride bikes as a kid. I would, ride the neighborhood kids' bikes just as a goof. But yeah, BMX was not in my makeup or on my resume at all. But they had the best stunt riders for me, and Hal, of course, is a brilliant stunt director. So a lot of people were fooled.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty impressive. So, like that whole freestyle scene with "Send Me an Angel" playing and everything, that was totally not you?
Well, this is pre-CGI days pretty much, and so any shot that you see that's definitely me, then it's probably me. But there's a lot of scenes where we have stunt doubles from the back, and of course there are a lot of scenes like the backflip scene, all that stuff, where I have a hockey helmet on. You can't tell who's under it. So, yeah, with some creative editing and some really good stunt work, I think he pulled it off as far as fooling people into thinking I'm a really good bike rider.
Well, at any rate, that scene at the dance with the slow dancing BMX bikes was probably one of the most romantic scenes in film history.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's kind of iconic. I'm told there are a lot of people who have recreated that scene at their wedding. There's a lot of little kids running around named Cru Jones, So yeah, I guess guys either wanted to recreate that or the ass lighting scene, and there you go. Pop out a few little Cru Joneses, and here we are 20 years later, 25 years later.
That's great.
So what was it like on the set of Rad with the cast that you had? I know you had Balboa's wife was there.
Yeah, well, she actually produced the movie. Talia Shire produced the movie with her husband, Jack Schwartzman. They had produced one of the James Bond films, Never Say Never Again, and they started their own production company. So she was kind of my boss on that shoot. And, we had some wonderful character actors, not only her, Jack Weston, Ray Walston, my favorite Martian. So for a young actor, it was really exciting getting to work with all these people that had influenced me growing up and that I was trying to emulate in my career, and they were incredibly kind to me. I think they could see that I was earnest and really wanted to do a good job. So that was very exciting for me. The supporting people, Laura, the little girl who played my sister, Luke. It was a great time, and good people who a lot of us were starting out our careers, and it was a very exciting time. So that being my first big lead in a movie, it was kind of a heady experience. But everybody seemed to help keep me in line and keep me safe. And it was a great intro into the movie business and kind of a post-grad program as far as what it's like to be involved in show business at that level. So yeah, it was definitely a very positive experience. The people of Canada were great, and to be able to introduce these riders to the world, a lot of people. This is, early days of BMX. Obviously, a lot of people weren't aware of these world-class riders and what they could do. So to be associated with those guys and to actually go on tour with them, promoting the movie, this is very exciting stuff. So yeah, it was overall a great experience for me. And now, 25 years later, people are still talking about it because of the nature of the movie, that it was the largest BMX movie of its kind, I think, before or since, and it really turned some heads. So it was a great experience.
Would you say because of that movie, a lot of people nowadays that are like associated with the X Games and things like that maybe ride BMX bikes now because of RAD?
Oh, there's no question. Yeah, I go to these events a lot, and so many of the kids who watched it, went out and crashed their bikes and tried to do backflips and all these things. But a certain percentage of those guys went on to become pro BMX riders, bicycle shop owners, Olympic BMX athletes. So it was pre-YouTube, pre-computer, and so I think because of that, not only was it a lot of these kids' first introduction to the sport, it was kind of their Bible that they would watch and try to emulate over and over again. And so to be a part of that legacy, introducing the sport to so many people, and to have that character, Cru Jones, so deeply ingrained in that world and that society, and so to be a part of that is just amazingly humbling, because these are guys who obviously dedicate not only their lives but risk their necks to pursue what they love, in a way that is very amazing to me. We're talking about world-class athletes, as you guys well know, and they've really furthered the sport. And a lot of these guys are the ones who were very young watching that movie and saw that they could achieve something great with a couple pedals and a couple wheels, and a frame. So it's really cool, unexpected.
So how come this movie hasn't made DVD yet? Do you have any idea what the deal is there?
Yeah, I do have an idea about that. Again, the producer of the movie, Talia Shire, has hung on to the rights through the years, through the decades, and from my latest information, they're getting ready to come out with a DVD, and once that happens, they'll go into pre-production of the sequel, which I'm told is on the boards. Yeah.
Wow.
So is the breaking news here officially RAD Part 2 in the works?
Well, I've talked about it in other places. There's no official word yet. I'm just telling you what I've heard. And so to the fans out there, keep checking, let's say Netflix or some of these other Amazon, and once you see that the official DVD and not a bootleg version is not, once you see the official version out, you can expect RAD 2 to be coming around the corner.
Wow.
And just back to Talia Shire for a second, just kind of as a side note, the guy, her stepson, John Schwartzman, who did the making of RAD at the time, he's now a big cinematographer. He's Michael Bay's cinematographer. He also did the cinematography for Seabiscuit. And his brother, Jason Schwartzman, who's now big working actor, got an HBO series right now. He's a little kid running around the set of RAD on his bicycles. We used to go riding on the weekends and what have you. So those two guys, Talia's sons, also have a soft spot in their heart for the movie. And so I think the whole family wants to see it done right. So there's been a lot of producers through the ages contacting me and the production company, and the latest word I have is Talia's on it and is putting good money into getting the rights back and then moving on with the sequel.
That's awesome. Are you going to be one of the main people in the sequel, or?
I would hope so, but you just don't know about these things. So
Okay.
I think it's one of those things where everybody who's into the movie has an idea of how the sequel could go, and it's pretty much the same idea. So hopefully they'll have the same idea. So we'll just see.
Could be a wild ride. Well, let's.
Yeah. Well, either way, it'll draw attention to the original movie, and so there'll be a whole publicity push behind the official DVD release. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sure.